Hi and welcome back. I'm heading to Billings, Montana the long way to stop and see a few sights I've always wanted to see. I've traveled to Billings many times, but usually in early winter to early spring, so most of these sites were closed. It's now mid-August of 2024, so that should not be a problem. About 25 minutes west of Las Vegas, up in the hills, and about 20 degrees cooler is Lovell Canyon. That's my first stop for the night. Free camping with the sights of the Las Vegas lights down below. For those of you that are not in the know, leaving LA is quite a challenge. Your timing has to be just right, or that 5-hour trip can turn into 8 very quickly. The Springs Mountain National Recreation Area, or Mount Charleston, as it's known by the locals, is one of the 19 national recreation areas in the United States and was established by the U.S. Congress in 1993, with elevation ranges from 3,000 to just under 12,000 feet. No wonder it's so much cooler here than in Las Vegas. The area is home to 7 ecological zones and at least 25 different species of plants. Animals and insects found nowhere else in the world are located here. This unique landscape is just northwest of Las Vegas and serves as a natural escape for 1 million city dwellers annually. Now it's time to get ready for the night, decompress from that LA drive, and get ready for tomorrow's adventures. If you're looking for dispersed camping just outside of Vegas, just travel on the 160 West and hang a right on Lovell Canyon Road. Hey Mom, I captured a bird and a rabbit in the morning. So here's a twist for this trip. I'm heading to the Vegas airport to pick up my nephew Max, and we're both gonna travel back to his home in Montana. This was Max's first time on an airplane, and this will be his first time traveling the Uncle Chuck way. Which means no hotels, no motels, and no McDonald's.
Day one of going back home, I went on 2 planes, and yeah, it's not fun. This is basically all we've seen. Just rocks. And for some reason, this stupid clock says it's 2:40 when we've been on the road for 2 hours and we left at 1:01. So I don't know, but this is all, yeah.
About 3 hours north of Las Vegas on the 15 is Beaver, Utah. This was our first gas stop and a stop for a very cool treat.
Finally made it to the Creamery.
Yay! Go. The Creamery in Beaver, Utah. Yes, sirree. I have to say, not an easy place to find, that's for sure. But what an amazing joint. Oh my God, they had fresh cooked food, they had sweets, they had ice cream, and yeah, so we definitely indulged.
We have 3 things. This is the first thing. We have pretzels. We have gummy bears.
Miners dispersed camping.
And yeah, we are still in Beaver, Utah, and it's going to close soon.
You're showing your shirt.
Oh, dang it. Oh crap, wait.
Max and I decided to get some fried cheese curds to warm up our bellies and get a little treat because we had another about almost 3 hours to go before we hit Miners Camp off of Utah Lake, where we'll be spending the night.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're like mozzarella sticks, huh? With our bellies warmed up, we headed off to do a photo op in front of the giant cow. This place has got it all. It's pretty doggone cool, I have to say. And then we headed over for the ice cream, which I have to say was amazing.
What?
So the name Creamery really fits because this ice cream was super creamy. And if you're from Southern California, it was better than the Rite Aid. Yes, it was. We were slowly running out of daylight, so I made the decision to eat the ice cream in the car so we could get on the road, because I like to show up at dispersed camping sites while the sun is still out. And we barely made it. Oh, we finally made it.
It is starting to become night, and there's a lot of bugs that annoy us. But we're gonna be going to bed soon, hopefully. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be sleeping in.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. We had a long day.
Long day.
We've been on the road for 7 hours, which is like a long time. But also, the longest time I actually spent in the car was 9 hours.
Really?
Yeah, for a trip with my friends.
Wow. Where'd you go?
We went to Washington to see a soccer game.
That's right.
And we got our snacks. I brought the cameras and the snacks.
What I didn't capture was 15 minutes later, the bugs came out in swarms. I had to throw Max in the back of the truck, put up the mosquito netting. It was crazy. So here we are at the Miners Canyon Campground, just south of Salt Lake City. Oh, and then a few minutes after, maybe 20 minutes after the mosquitoes, when the sun went down, the winds kicked up so hard that it was rocking the truck. This footage here is of the morning, because I couldn't record anything that night. The wind and the bugs, it was insane. I'm so happy we stopped at the Creamery and loaded up on snacks and treat, because that was our dinner. It was so sad to have that to be Max's very first night camping on the road. Oh, poor dude. But he pulled through really good, and we made it, and now let's head out. Are you ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Alrighty, we are here at the Miners Camp, and 30 minutes away is Timpanogos Caves National Monument. That's our first stop for the day.
Day 2 of going on being on the road, and we're about to go to the caves.
That's right.
Yep. We are excited to go to the caves, and there's been more buildings than people here.
Yes, there is. I think what Max was trying to say was there were donut shops on every corner. I couldn't believe how many donut shops on this stretch of road. Anyhow, so we had to make reservations way in advance, like days in advance. So between myself and his mom, we had morning reservations and afternoon, because you can't just arrive, get a ticket, and go. They have to be in advance. So we were a little rushed to get out of the camp and get to the caves for our morning reservations. Otherwise, we'd have to sit there for 4 hours for the afternoon one. So yep, I broke my cardinal rule. We went to McDonald's for breakfast. But shh, Max, don't tell anyone. We just didn't have time to set up the camp kitchen, cook the food, clean, do dishes, pack up, and get to the caves for the morning reservations. So there we go. I do want to point out, good job, Max, on holding that camera steady throughout this entire drive. We arrived at the Timpanogos base camp with 15 minutes to spare for our check-in time to hike up to the caves. Just for reference, we are starting at an elevation of 5,638 feet. How you doing?
Right.
Look how steep that is. This is the rock slide area. In order to reach the caves, hikers must first undertake a 1.5 mile walk along the paved trail. This path gains 1,092 vertical feet up to a total of 6,730 feet. The path is amazing, so that's good. The red line areas there means be aware that it could have a possible rock slide. Max has the Junior Ranger guidebook for the trail.
Where are we at? Are we still like right here?
Mm-hmm. See, it's telling you, look up there. See all the different rock levels?
Yeah.
It's telling you what each level is.
Water seeps into cracks in the rock, and then it freezes during the winter. The ice then pushes the rock apart, which makes the cracks bigger.
Max, we're a quarter of the way.
I know. I just said that.
So we should drink some water.
Yes.
Your reservation ticket time allows you an hour and a half to make the 1.5 mile walk vertically to the cave entrance. It tells you to bring plenty of water, and don't be surprised if you feel the effects of higher altitude by huffing and puffing along the way. No joke. Is it steep?
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah, but this looks straight. You can't even see the ground.
Really?
Yeah. Does it look straight?
Oh yeah, you can really see the angle now. All right, let's keep huffing.
Look at this.
Look at right here. Sand to stone. The Junior Ranger book has about 16 different viewpoints and attractions or things to preoccupy your mind of this hike up this vertical incline. And it says here that many people come just to take in views and get a good workout without taking the cave tour. Why? Why would you do that? This thing is insane. What did you just say? What did you say?
Oh my gosh.
What did you say? Say it again.
It's because I'm so sweaty. I said this is worse than PE because I'm I'm sweatier.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Alright, so 10 and 11. Hidden cave. 11. High heels hiking.
High heels hiking?
High heeled hiking.
What's that mean?
More than 100 years ago, people hiked a very difficult trail to get to the cave. The historic trail was made up of steep cliffs, trees, and rugged terrain. People used to wear the best clothes. The men wore suits and ties, while the women wore dresses and high heels. What clothes would you have worn back then? Would you have wanted to walk up a steep dirt trail dressed like that in order to explore the caves?
No.
Great bassin rattlesnake. If you're lucky, you might even get to see one. Snakes like to hide in rock walls or under plants. Be careful not to put your hands between rocks, under bushes, or anywhere you can see. If you find a snake, leave it alone. This is their home, and if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
Pretty good. Good advice, huh? It was about this spot here, the 3/4 way, that I did not think I was going to make it. I'm telling you. Wow, what a journey.
Please turn me till the message plays.
Thank goodness for all these distractions along the way, like that bird chirping device. Here's a look down from where we just came from. When they say this is vertical, there was never one flat spot. This was a constant uphill climb. And at this altitude, it was really tough. We made it to the cave entrance with about 10 minutes to spare. If it wasn't for the constant encouragement from Max, I don't think I would have made it. There are 3 caves of the monument: Hansen Cave, Middle Cave, and Timpanogos Cave. The 3 caves are connected by man-made tunnels blasted in the 1930s by the Works Progress Administration. The average temperature in the caves is 46 degrees. The park ranger is explaining the discovery of the caves, but you couldn't really hear her. So here we go. Over 100 years ago, no one knew that there were caves hidden in the American Fort Canyon. Then on a fall day in 1887, 40-year-old Martin Hansen, a Mormon settler from American Fort, Utah, accidentally discovered the first cave. Hansen was cutting timber high on the canyon's south slope for the railroad when he came across the tracks of a mountain lion. He followed those tracks to a high ledge. He found an opening in the rock and the entrance to the small cave that would be named after him. In 1915, a second cave was discovered. That summer, a group of families from Lehi, Utah came to American Fort Canyon for a day's outing. While the rest of the group explored Hansen Cave, teenagers climbed up around the rocky slope outside. By chance, they stumbled across a hole not far from the entrance to Hansen Cave, to Timpanogos Cave.
What are you seeing in here? Got formations. Which ones are the stalactites?
One's on the ceiling.
Yeah, our stalactites hold tight to the ceiling. Where's the stalagmites? Yeah, you might trip on them. Can you see right there?
The excitement of discovering the natural wonders of Timpanogos Cave had not yet died when a third cave, Middle Cave, was found that fall. George Hubert Hansen and Wayne E. Hansen, son and grandson of Martin Hansen, were in American Fork Canyon hunting deer. Looking through binoculars at the south slope of the canyon from the opposite side, they spotted an opening near the other two cave entrances. Within days, they returned to this new cave, Middle Cave, with a large exploring party equipped with ropes, flashlights, and candles. In the party was pioneer cave finder Martin Hansen, by then 74 years old. Wow. Max, turn around.
No.
Say hi.
Hi.
I'm sure you're seeing all that drippy looking rock along the walls. Again, that's flowstone. That's created from up above in the fault line. The water seeping through dissolves out the bedrock and redeposits itself on top of the limestone to give that look of a frozen waterfall or melting cake icing.
The hopes of all those who sought to protect and preserve the caves of the American Fork Canyon were realized a year after Timpanogos and the Middle Caves were discovered. In 1922, at the urging of Utah citizens, the U.S. Forest Service and others, President Warren G. Harding issued a proclamation establishing Timpanogos Cave National Monument. Since that time, the caves have been officially recognized as a natural features of a national significance and extraordinary scenic and scientific value. I would like to say, as an avid Minecraft player, with Max, of course, online, it was really cool to go into a cave because we spent a lot of time mining in caves in Minecraft.
Is a gigantic stalactite that was created from a whole bunch of smaller ones that over time fused together to create one big one. I think it's about 2 tons in weight. Wow. 4,000 pounds. Versus those made out of calcium carbonate. That is a mineral that has been making all the formations we have been seeing and will see on this whole cave tour. But Timpanogos Cave has some color differences. What are you seeing?
Aqua.
Yeah, there's that bluish green color on this wall.
To give you an idea of the time frame, they estimate an hour and a half to get up to the cave entrance, about an hour and a half to tour all 3 caves, and about an hour down. That's 4 hours. Wow. As we got to the end of the tour, I turned around and took this picture from where we came from. I've been to quite a few caves during my travels, and I have to say, this one's right up there. It was really good.
I see the outside.
Well, here's a fun fact. Upon getting home and doing my research, I found the National Park System has produced a video tour or virtual tour of the cave system because it's so steep to climb up to those entrances. Holy cow, man, I wish I knew that before I went. No, not really. It was great to see it live, that's for sure. The virtual tour is about 21 minutes and it is really well done. I will put a link to the National Park virtual tour in the description below. Now, I don't think of myself as a YouTuber. I just make movies for my mom of my travels. But I want to say many YouTubers say they'll put a link down below, but many don't. I will, and I would say take the time. It's only 20 minutes. They did a really good job. The building down below with the blue roof, that's where we started. Like I said, it's straight up and straight down. Now, you'd think going down was going to be so easy. Oh no, your toes are squished in the toe of your shoe. it was just as painful going down as it was up. So here we are at the parking lot down below. I'm sorry about the sun, can't do anything about it. But straight up to the top there, that's where the cave's entrance are. It was quite challenging, and we broke our cardinal rule again. Amongst all the donut shops, we found a Jersey Mike's. Shh, don't tell anyone, Max. All right, so we leave the caves, and we're now heading to Golden Spike National Historic Park. Golden Spike National Historic Park is located in Promontory Summit, north of the Great Salt Lake in east central Box Elder County, Utah. The sun was setting and blaring straight into Max's eyes, poor guy. We're sitting at an elevation around 5,525 feet. We arrived with about 20 minutes to spare before they closed, and here is Max getting his National Park passport stamped, holding up a golden spike. We toured inside the exhibits, but then we went outside because we knew they were closing soon, and we really wanted to check it all out. The Golden Spike National Historic Park commemorates the completion of the first transcontinental railroad, where the Central Pacific Railroad and the first Union Pacific Railroad met on May 10, 1869. The final joining of the rails spanning the continent was signified by the driving of the ceremonial Golden Spike. The Golden Spike, also known as the Last Spike, is the ceremonial 17.6 karat gold final spike driven by Leland Stanford to join the rails of the first transcontinental railroad across the United States. The spike is on display at the Cantor Art Center in Stanford University. Here's a couple old-timey pictures of that event. They've had reenactments of the Golden Spike ceremony with train replicas here at the Golden Spike National Historic Park in the past. And here is an image of one of those said events. The Golden Spike. You have it right there in your hand. Show me the Golden Spike, Max. If you truly want to understand what it was like to live and watch this transcontinental railroad be built, I highly recommend you watch the AMC series Hell on Wheels. It was amazing.
So the only way we found this place was because
Rainbow. Because of Max's eagle eye, he saw the sign. Thank goodness, because we were running out of options and it was starting to get dark.
we are going to be making some hot dogs by using firewood as campfire to cook the hot dog.
Exactly.
We're going to be here for tonight. It's honestly it's great. This place is fantastic. We're going to be starting a fire soon so that we can have hot dogs for dinner.
That's right. So we left the Golden Spike National Historic Park and headed towards the City of Rocks National Reserve. It was almost a 2-hour drive on dirt roads. It was really fun, actually. Okay. Now, your dad said to throw some fries on there, so we're going to do that and see if it works. What do you think?
Yeah. We're going to be having some burnt fries as well.
Well, we're not going to eat those. Really good.
It's already cooking.
Fire starting. Compliments of In-N-Out French fries that are 2 days old. What a cool sight, huh? Amongst the trees. Looking at the truck, you can clearly see the mud from that dirt road. We drove through rain.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And then we got here and pretty much beautiful skies.
I saw a double rainbow.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got a picture of a single rainbow. Well, do you remember where we are?
Smoky Mountain campsite.
We're at.
Are we in Idaho?
Correct. Well, I have to say, the fire looks like it's Doing okay. We'll check back later.
To change the colors?
That's for later.
Okay.
How did you remember that?
Because I do.
Save for the camera what you said when we started hiking up that hill to the caves.
Didn't I say I'm gonna hate my life tomorrow?
Well, that was one of the things. Something about school.
I don't remember.
You said,
What?
this is worse than PE.
Oh, yeah. Because we were going up.
It was hard to come down too, wasn't it?
It was still easier than having to deal with your whole body killing yourself.
Yeah, exactly, but it still was hard to go down. I have to say the French fries seem to really increase the fire height. Again, I'm so happy Max caught the sign to the Smoky Mountain Campgrounds. He had a good eagle eye because it was a small sign. It is a paid site, but that's okay. After the first night, we needed restrooms and other amenities like the picnic bench. So it was very cool. Very cool.
I'm so happy we're going to be having hot dogs. But this is cool.
Maxwell,
What?
so what do you think about this night camping?
A lot better than yesterday.
What was wrong with yesterday?
Bugs and wind.
How fast do you think the wind was blowing?
Maybe like 25 miles per hour.
No, probably like 50. It was blowing hard.
We would have been in a severe thunderstorm.
Do you remember the truck shaking?
I found a little bit of the truck shaking.
That's got to be at least 40 to 50. At least.
How
But this spot is gorgeous. Surrounded by trees.
We've already seen a rainbow.
Seeing rainbows earlier. Even though it's a paid site, it's
Rain,
okay because
stop.
we have a bathroom and showers and everything. And tomorrow morning, because we're already here at the,
When we're gonna be
where are we at? City of Rocks National Reserve.
No, we're close to City of Rock.
We're at the entrance.
We're at the, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll go be able to see that and check it all out.
I kind of want to cook food here.
We're gonna make hot dogs.
Not here, like as breakfast.
You know, we just never made it to the grocery store, have we? Well, we can have eggs and sausage.
Yeah, we could just.
We
have
just don't have
egg.
any tortillas.
That's fine if we don't have egg burritos.
We don't have the burrito part.
No, I know.
So
So it's just eggs.
we can have scrambled eggs and sausage. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do you have like the sausage patties?
No, I have the links.
What
I got the camping
Oh, the
sausage that's famous around the world. The cheap Farmer John sausage links. Kind of like the ones they serve at Denny's.
Okay. I haven't been there in so long.
In case you have an eagle eye, yep, we drugged the picnic table back so we'd have a direct line from the truck to the campfire. And there is nothing like having a hot dog cooked on a campfire. Just nothing like it.
This is one of the greatest hot dogs. And this is like the perfect weather. It's the perfect weather. And also the perfect fire. The fire is just perfect. Honestly, I have an opinion. This is my opinion. If hot dogs on a grill are like on a grill, just not good. Like you just have to wait, not good. Those just don't taste good. But having to put them over a fire and then eat them is just way better.
Exactly.
Why you should do campfires instead of, yeah?
Eat your hot dog before it gets cold.
Okay. All right.
As Max said earlier, nothing like a hot dog cooked on a campfire. And I do have to say, I'm so glad we had this night here after that first night. It sure made up for it. Here is a picture of the rainbow that I took earlier, and here is a time lapse of the morning. Just gorgeous. Often people leave firewood laying around at the campsites, and just like others, we left a few logs and Max stacked it all up nice and neat before we left. I don't think we made breakfast. I think we were both good and we just headed out because we wanted to see the City of Rocks. And so bravo to Max for doing the wood, and we packed up and hit the road.
We are currently exiting the City of Rocks, and we need to go to 3 places.
What 3 places?
Gas station, a grocery store, and actually no, 2.
Oh no. Well, we don't want to say the third one.
No.
Because it would be cheating.
Well, like, yeah. City of Rocks is just amazing.
I think so too.
Yep.
There are a lot of rocks in the City of Rocks, wasn't there, Max?
Yes. And we played Minecraft for too much that he said that you would expect all this to be like squares, but none of them are.
Well, yeah. Well, it's good to know they're not all squares.
Yeah. I don't think any of them are anymore, but
No, they're not.
there's a person that lives here, I think. There's a house. Oh, wait, no, I don't think that's a house.
It is a house.
Oh, it just doesn't look like one.
It's a ranch house. The City of Rocks National Reserve, also known as the Silent City of Rocks, is a United States National Reserve and state park in south central Idaho. It's approximately 2 miles north of the border of Utah. It's widely known for its enormous giant rock formations and excellent rock climbing. The rock spires in the City of Rocks and adjacent Castle Rock State Park are largely composed of granite rock. City of Rocks is a popular rock climbing area with over 1,000 traditional and bolt-protected routes. In the 1980s, it was home to some of the most difficult routes in the country, mostly developed by an Idaho climber named Tony Yaniro. Climbers in the region refer to the area as simply the city. Here we're driving by the Twin Sisters, which is a famous rock formation. The landscape of the City of Rocks has been sculpted from granite that was intruded into the crust during 2 widely spaced out times. The granite that composes most of the spires is part of the 28 million year old Alamo Pluton. However, some of the spires are made of granite that's part of the, are you ready for this? 2.5 billion year old Green Creek complex that contains some of the oldest rocks in the western United States. The granite has eroded into fascinating assortment of shapes. Beginning in 1843, City of Rocks was a landmark for immigrants on the California Trail and the Salt Lake Alternate Trail. Registered rock hosts signatures of immigrants passing through on the California Trail. I guess this would be the first graffiti, huh?
We are trying to find these signatures. And there's going to be a lot of signatures over there. There's a lot. This is huge. Oh, I see what you're talking about. There's one that we see. Where's the oh, it's right here. I found it. I found the second one.
Where?
It's right here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
These are old.
I know. How did I get up here? How did I get up there?
They climbed, I guess, like rock climbing.
Or the ground's just higher.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit back then.
Yeah.
When the California Trail was first opened in 1843, Granite Pass near the City of Rocks provided the pass that allowed an easy connection with streams and creeks that provided the needed water and grass for their teams along the way between the Raft River and the Humboldt River. In 1852, some 52,000 people passed through the City of Rocks on their way to join the California Gold Rush. With the completion of the first transcontinental railroad on May 9, 1869, the overland wagon routes began to pass into history. So how did they sign these rocks as they were passing through? Well, there's no Home Depot to buy spray paint, so they actually used the grease from their axles on the wagons to sign these rocks. Amazing. When looking at the signatures, you'll see a date like 50 or 52. That's 1850 and 1852. Just keep that in mind. By 1850, so many people were on the trail that it was often like a long traveling village crawling its way to California. How fun is it going to be for Max when he learns in school about the California Trail and the immigrants and then the Golden Spike for the Transcontinental Railroad? Come to think of it, they may not be teaching that anymore because they don't even teach cursive writing. What is up with that?
All right, are we good?
Yep.
I like the way you travel. Pretty cool, huh?
Well, the City of Rocks did not disappoint, and Max is getting better with the filming and narration, don't you think? All right, it's time to get out of here and head to our next stop. We heard a rumor talking to some folks at this town of 234, Albion, at the only gas station at the creek side, they had the best homemade cinnamon rolls. So we got a couple for our breakfast.
What do you think?
Delicious.
Our next stop was Minidoka National Historic Site, one of the 10 Japanese internment camps here in the U.S. during World War II. But I'm going to save this footage for a standalone to go with the other 4 that I visited. But I just wanted to point out, wouldn't you know it, the day we arrived, it was closed because it's only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Can you believe that? What every time. Anyway, moving on. Our next stop is I.B. Perrine Bridge. It's a 4-lane truss arch span over the Snake River in southern Idaho, just north of the town of Twin Falls. It carries U.S. Highway 93 over the Snake River Canyon, connecting Twin Falls County with Interstate 84 in Jerome County. The Perrine Bridge is a popular base jumping site known all over the world. It may be the only man-made structure in the United States where base jumping is allowed year-round without a permit. Wow.
Do you see a jumper? Oh yeah?
Past the bridge, in the middle of the river, you'll see the blue kite of a jumper. That's crazy. In the early 1990s, bungee jumping and parachuting off the bridge gained popularity but was still against the law. By the end of the decade, base jumping was legal, and in July of 2006, Dan Schilling jumped off the bridge 201 times in 21 hours to raise money for charity. Schilling was hoisted to the top of the bridge by a crane after every jump. 10 base jumpers have died while jumping from the bridge as of November of 2023. Does anybody know what this is? Evel Knievel made his most daring and final jump at Twin Falls across the Snake River Canyon. Sitting on top of his X2 Sky Cycle, Evel Knievel's wild ride took to the air on September 8th, 1974. Looking more like a rocket than his motorcycle, the outlandish jump on the Sky Cycle ended in failure when the parachute opened at takeoff. Most kids these days have no clue who Evel Knievel even is.
Wave. You want to jump the Snake River?
No.
It was very cool to visit this site and to see that the berm is still there at least. Because I remember as a kid when this was going on. So, childhood memories for me. Max has no clue. Max and I went to the Twin Falls Visitor Center to inquire where the kayaking rental sites were. We were handed flyers, and once we arrived at the banks of the river, found they were closed up for the season. At this point, Max made a statement that Twin Falls, Idaho is more like Twin Fails. But we did get some great views of this beautiful waterfall. The last few days have been challenging, but a lot of fun. So this is all the areas we've covered and all the places we've been to. Stay tuned for part 2 where we finish up the trip getting to Billings, Montana. Thank you all for watching, and love you, Mom.